Right, all right, all right. I see Balogun, Akonji, Chiedza. All right. Let's see if we can get more people on this call before we get started. All right, let's see. We have 22 people on the channel. We were able to get about 50 last week. So let's just take a chill. Let's take a chill. Let's see if we can just get more people. I want us to have as many people as we can. Yeah. So let's see if we can get more people on here. Reach out to your friends, reach out to your colleagues, anyone you believe this class would be useful for. Reach out to them, let them join up. Yep. All right. The class is starting now. Yeah. So let's catch up from where we left off the last week. How are we doing? How are you guys doing? Good to know how you're doing. Yeah, good evening, everyone. How are you all? How's been the week? Yep. I hope in one way or the other, the discussion we had last week, or on Monday rather, has been very helpful so far. Great, great, great. Awesome. Yep. Yeah, so I'll be reviewing what we did last week. I'll be, doing a quick review, um, you know, showing a few things, right? And at the same time, I will be sharing the main topic for today is designing a color palette. I'll be sharing how I design my color palettes and the like. And yeah, let's see what progress we're able to make today. All right, so we would start in 2 minutes. We'll start in 2 minutes. Let me make sure all the slides are ready and all my pages are also ready. So, we can dive straight into today's topic. And yeah, I also did mention if by chance you have some questions for me, I'm happy to take questions today. So you can start dropping your questions in the Q&A section. Great. Okay, let's get started. So yeah, awesome. Today, the topic is designing a color palette, and we will be reviewing some of the things we discussed last week, right? So that everyone can be fresh. If you're not here last week, we're going to be doing a quick review on some of the things we discussed. So yeah, stick closely, listen, and enjoy the class. So basically, we began, talking about a few things. One of them being how that colors affect action and mood. We discussed different colors and what kind of vibe these colors give. A lot of emphasis was placed on colors like red, black, yellow, and the likes, right? And we were able to, somewhat get the idea by, sending up random questions and asking people to, comment what they feel each time they come across these colors. Or basically, that's the point of psychology. When you talk about color psychology, it simply means how people react to different colors and how to use colors to prompt user actions and the likes. Yeah. We also discussed how colors are able to set up mood. Yeah. We'll show some examples and discuss some examples as well. Yeah, we also did talk about how users are, supposed to use whites whenever you're clueless. You as a designer, whenever you're clueless, you don't know what colors to use. A good thing to do would be to use white. I've come across different designs asking about, or making some mistakes about on how to choose their colors. And my advice most of the time has always been, in case you come across a situation where you want to choose a background color but you're not so sure, maybe the color you're using is not just seeming right, use white. And let's see if I can pull up an example. I took my time to gather some examples. So today's class would, make more sense. You'll be able to see what I'm talking about, or at least have an idea of what I mean. So yeah, I'm loading up that. Once it's open, I would share my screen so you could see what I'm talking about. Up next would be define your secondary colors. So yeah, each time you want to design, every single time you want to design, you want to make sure you have your secondary color, your tertiary color, your alternative colors as well. You don't just want to choose a primary color and feel like you're good to go. And during the course of your design, you begin to choose random colors. That is totally unethical. You want to make sure that every color you'll be using for a design is defined before you start, using colors. So yeah, I'm gonna share my screen now. Um, yeah, maybe I'm just gonna share this one. Yep. By in case you're not prove the point I was trying to make. But one thing I discovered is somewhere in my head, I'm unable to make it go wrong. My years of experience has rearranged my brain. I was trying to, get this to look as bad can get, but unfortunately, this still doesn't look bad. But yeah, so I'm just going to try to explain the whole idea, right? So it's pretty simple. Take a look at these two screens, which has more which looks more ideal, right? So it's a question of what is ideal and what people can take a look at without feeling weird. Your UI, not giving the weird kind of feeling. So it's boils down to that. So take a look at these two screens and which one is more satisfying. And that is why I've always said use whites. Basically, just use whites. Use white for your background. The moment you're using white for your background, you free yourself of every thoughts of am I doing the right thing? So yeah, basically that's what I was trying to talk about. And yeah, up next is yeah, when I say define your secondary colors. So for this design, I'm using this color that looks like teal, and then this dirty green, blue, white, etc. Now, I have defined these colors as the colors I want to use. And if you take a look at my design, you'll find these colors in all locations. So my teal green is the background, the white for my text, the dirty green is the button, and of course, blue doesn't seem to appear much, but in illustration, there's a bit of blue. So you want to basically the point is you just want to define your colors. You don't want to start your design and then start picking random colors and seeing which one works, which one doesn't. Because if you pick colors that way, you will end up getting to a part of your design where that color does not work, right? And you may want to resort back to the old testing thing, which of course will eventually make your design looks like, five application in one because things are not consistent. So you want to define your colors, use all testing methods to prove that this set of colors you want to choose, they are ideal for the product and you are going to stick to them because yes, you have basically chosen them carefully. Back to my slide. Yeah, one color at a time. One color at a time. So I'm going to show what I mean by that. Oh yeah, so still on this slide though. Yeah, one color at a time. So from what I explained the last week, I did mention that each time you're designing, let's say you're designing, each section of your website should emphasize one color at a time. So taking a look at what we have here, we can all come to agree that the most emphasized color is the teal green. Now that is one color at a time. By the time you start having too many colors taking the same amount of percentage, you are most likely going to cause conflict in your design. Now, okay, I don't think I should go a bit of that. So there is something called brutalism. Brutalism is a style of design where the weird becomes the norm. Now, in cases where you are designing brutal websites, many of these ideals do not tend to work And basically, it's just you, the law, to come up with new design patterns. But we are talking about an ideal situation. An ideal situation demands that you have one color emphasized more than the others at a time. And lastly, emphasize contrast. I prepared an example for that as well. Here. So I'm going to scroll down to these two things, and yeah, I'm just going to allow you to take a look at it and come up with your, decide. So I think I worked on these designs 3 years ago. Yeah, I think I worked on this design 3 years ago. As of then, I really didn't know what I was doing. Basically, I just started design as well. And I did this. So now that I'm looking at it, I see a lot of accessibility issues that I definitely did not know about, which of course, if I had known, would be a plus to me. Now, good. A good example is my status bar. I have white here. I am pretty sure not many of us are seeing this, and that is the issue itself. So basically, there are white circles on this status bar, but we can barely see them. The reason why we can barely see them is part of what I explained last week as regards when you're using pastel colors. So if I click on this guy, so let me show you what this looks like on my color, on my swatch. So if you take a look at this guy, let me just zoom in my this. Yep. If you take a look at this guy, you will realize that it is currently very, very close to white. This point is white. Here is the color we have right now. And as you can see, it is really, really close to white and far away from blue. So if I'm to ask what color this is, basically it's fair to say white. But then I am then matching a white color on it. I'm also now placing a white color on it. Now, this is not ideal because the moment I do this, I begin to cause issues with accessibility. Imagine this were a text, it becomes almost impossible to see. So, for better practice, what I ended up doing is this. So, what I did is I contrast of one of the colors and kept the other, balancing the contrast. One is low contrast, the other is high contrast. Basically, that is how you want to use your designs. If you want to mix your colors, that is the ideal way to do it. Another good example is at this point where I have another pastel blue and this blue, which I can call powder blue. And of course, it is also close to white, right? Now, yeah, this we may argue that you can see this, but the question is, why should we even have an argument when I can do this and make it very obvious that, of course, this blue is very obvious and why this is less obvious? We really don't need to have an argument in the first place. So that is one thing we want to pay attention to. Now, also, the pastel colors has a bit of its own challenge because right now this pastel is very, very close to white. Why don't we just increase the contrast of this one as well so that it looks something like this? On the long run, you are supposed to prioritize user comfort, user experience over aesthetic. Sometimes pastel colors look so good when they are very light, but most of the time it will definitely cause accessibility issues. So that is one thing to note. And yeah, choosing colors. Choosing colors. Oh, Kenneth, so I get your question there. Why does my button have different colors? Well, I can't remember which screen you saw, but is it to say different buttons? So in your design, there are definitely different buttons in a single design. You have your primary button, you have your secondary button, text button, you have your bordered button, etc., etc. There are situations where you have different kind of buttons. So I believe that's like a good answer. Oh, the teal green. I'm gonna go back to that to see what it looks like. You mean this? Of course, you don't. Well, I believe you don't expect me to do this, right? You see, you can't see it anymore. So they are not different buttons; they are just different colors, and it is just ideal to do that. And at the same time, I'm sure you pretty much don't expect me to do this either because this is impossible to see. So that is why there is no technical reason. It's just what is ideal and what is. So moving forward, choosing colors. So basically, I also discussed how to choose colors from the last meeting or from our last class. A way to choose colors, first is to choose a brand color. I think I have an example here that we would definitely build through the course of this particular class. I have two products here or two companies. One is called TalkChat, and we can agree that their brand color is purple. And then the other is TalkPay. And since it's white and black, it is safe to assume that they don't have a brand color yet. So we're going to be using this tool to build up our um, color palette as we continue to this class. So TalkChat, the primary color is purple. Let's take that. Yeah, so the next way to choose is to use a color wheel. So I was able to get a few websites. The first being Adobe Color Wheel. So Adobe has its own dedicated color wheel. So I'm going to share this on the chat. If you wanted, you could just grab it from the chat there. The Adobe Color Wheel, I've pasted that chat. You could take a look at it, test it out, see what it looks like. And yeah, so I'm going to copy the X code for, I'm going to copy the X code for purple. And let's see if I can paste that color here. Yeah, of course, yes, I can. Good. So the moment I paste that color on this Adobe wheel, based on the math, based on the instructions, based on everything we can agree upon in choosing colors, it automatically matches a set of colors for us. So we have 5 choice of colors here. Now let me see if I can change this value up a bit and see if there's an actual change. So I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to see if I can tweak this column. Currently at 70, so I'm going to take this to 50, make it darker. I'll copy the Xcode again, go back to here and do this. Yep. So what just happened, I think each one of them changed, the same value changed across the entire design. Is that? Yeah, so it's instantly giving me the same color. So basically this will remain the same. And if I choose to adjust the wheel, all the other color would change as well, right? All other color changes as well. So this is one color wheel you want to, take a look at if you would. And basically the whole point is to help you choose your colors. And this has done that, you can begin to take each of these and use of it. Easy peasy. No need to rack your head on solving that color problem anymore. But so I'm just going to go back, undo this, and use the original color we have for TalkChat. So copy this, come back here, paste it here. Great. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to create on my Figma options for these other colors. So back on Figma, create a rectangle quickly. I'm going to create 5 rectangles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this is going to take this color. Go back here, copy this, come back here, select the second box, fill that in, go back here, copy that, select the third box, fill that in, and so on. And then the last one. Yep, and that's it. Now, mind you, do not necessarily need to use exact colors. Now, the point of all this is basically to save you time of choosing colors. But the moment you do something like this and you're not fine, you don't seem the colors don't seem right to you. You don't necessarily have to use it. Like that should be noted. You're not under any obligation to use these colors if they don't seem right to you. If a particular color from this list looks good enough, you can choose to use it, right? But if it doesn't, just move somewhere else. Yeah, just go somewhere else. Yeah. So yeah, this color wheel you can try out, but there are others. So I'm gonna try out the second color wheel, see what that looks like. So basically, this is from Canva, and it allows you to choose two colors, two opposite colors, just like I explained the last time. So I'm gonna go back to my design, pick the primary color. I'm gonna copy that, close this one, come to my Canva, and paste in that. Now this is even lovely. The moment I change that color, it shows me what it looks like using this hero section here. So the moment I do that, it basically suggests an opposite color for me, which of course can change. Can set it to monochromatic, set to analogous, see other matching options, triadic, tetradic. Now, so I'm just gonna go for um, monochromatic. Now, I'm not a fan. Complementary. Well, so this is the issue. Most of these colors. This is the issue you would face when you're using color wheels. Majority of the time, the complementary colors don't really look good enough. I don't think I want to use purple and green at any time. I don't think this. I don't think I will use this. But as I said, if you are stuck, you don't know what to do, a color wheel may just save you. Sometimes it's good, other times it just doesn't work. Now, this is a good example of it not working because I don't think I would want to use this color. So, moving forward, another option you can use is coolers. I did show you how to use this last week, so I'm going to go through that again. Yeah, so start the generator. Once again, I'm going to copy my primary color and yep, go here, paste that there, lock this because I don't want to change it, and then hit on spacebar. So the point of this is to compare other colors to purple and choose which one you like, which one you believe would fit the brand you're designing for. Okay, looking at these two colors, I think I love it. So I'm going to keep this. I'm definitely going to keep the black, and I'm just going to keep, doing this till I have other colors. Nah, I would have loved to keep this, but I won't be because I can get this color off this by the time I start creating my pellets. So I'm just going to move on. Yeah, I love this cyan. Yeah, I think I love the caramel as well. Or what's it called? Carnelian. So yeah, I think I'm going to use this set of colors. Exactly the same thing we did the last time was what we're going to be doing here. So you go back to your design, create 5 of these. Yep. This is my primary color, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to go for the second one. Copy that. That's copied. Paste it here. Go for the third one. Copy that. Paste it there. Next, copy. Paste it there. And the last, copy. Paste it there. Great. So now we have our colors for talk chat. We have our colors for talk chat. So yeah, good. I think that was some real progress. So back to a slide, and the last is niche colors. So I have I attached an article here. I'm going to drop that also on the chat. You can take a look at it. I'm sure it's going to come in helpful. So basically what you have on that article is what colors give what kind of vibe in what industry. So you have the health and wellness. What colors you want to see when you're talking about health and wellness? Making money online, dating applications, travel applications, self-development platforms, food, parenting, technology, creativity, women, fashion, beauty, etc., etc. So basically, this article would give you an insight of what colors to use whenever you're working on projects or products that have any of this niche. So you want to take a look at that article. I'm pretty sure it's going to make a lot of sense when you go through it. And yeah, so we're going to use that idea or whatever we are able to get from here to determine where TalkPay should, what kind of colors we want to use for TalkPay. So I'm pretty sure by the name you already know what it is. It's a payment platform, right? So we're gonna go, since a payment platform has to do with money, and yeah, it's technology and it's money. So I'm just gonna go back to this article, see what topics rhyme. So we have health and definitely not health and wellness, money, making money online. So yeah, I think we can take a look at this. Blah 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 blah. I can see green. What else? What other colors can I see? I see a lot of greens, right? So I'm going to assume green is a good color choice. So I'm going to go back to my design. I'm going to give this green. I'm not so sure which green to use. So I'm just going to use a generic green. This looked like a generic green. And I'm going to, do that as well. Go back. I know this application also falls under technology. So I'm going to go to tech and see what colors they have for technology. Okay, so technology, white background, black elements, contrast of black, white, black, 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 black. So yeah, they're basically talking about blacks when it comes to here. So but do I want to use black? I'm not so sure. Good. So that's not all. We need to do more research because I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot more out there. This is just one article. So I'm going to go to Google and say colors for fintech application and see what ideas. So many fintech startups tend to use purple or blue color palettes. Good. So I'm seeing purple, I'm seeing blue. I need to read more articles to be sure I'm not being misled. So check some other stuff. Our findings, blah blah blah. I'll need to read more on that. So I'll keep checking this. So yeah, I see blue, green, red, purple. So now I see more colors. I see blue, I see green again, I see red, I see purple again. So it's making sense. There is blue, there is green, there's purple. Can I get more articles? If you can look for more articles, good. It simply solidifies the quality of your research. If you are lazy like me, I think I'm just going to go with blue, green, and purple. Good. So back to my design. I already have green. So I need blue and I need purple. So duplicate this. I have a purple here already. So I'm just going to make this blue. Where is blue? Blue. That blue? Is it that blue? Yeah, I think this blue is great. Yeah. So now it shouldn't end here. It shouldn't end here though. Yeah, still on the topic of niche, you're now familiar that you're now aware that most businesses within the niche you're designing for use either of these three colors. But mind you, these are primary colors. You don't want to use three primary colors in your design. Now it is left for you to choose one color. And I think this is where collaboration comes in. Now you want to begin to ask questions, begin to give examples, design rough sketches, or design rough UIs. Use one of these three colors for each of the UIs and then present it to your business partner, present it to your clients, present it to your team lead, or present it to actual users and ask them. If you're to be using an application based on what TalkPay is offering, TalkPay is offering different services around payments. Which of these colors best describe the brand? Either green, blue, or purple. Yeah, so you get feedback in that way. You get proper feedback from the actual users. But since we already have a palette that has purple, I'm not gonna use purple. I'm gonna use blue. And of course, I know you guys guessed I was gonna use blue. So yeah, you guessed right. I'm not changing my mind. Yeah, let's use blue. Let's use blue. So yeah, I'm taking out black as well, and I'm keeping blue. Go blue. Yeah, so I have blue for the new Tokpay. So there you go. Tokpay is blue. I'm definitely not gonna keep black on that, so I'm using white. Yeah, voila, looks better. Awesome. So now that I know my Tokpay color is blue, the next thing to do is to repeat the steps you did here if you want to, or you know, get a secondary color, right? Just a single secondary color. You don't want to have this much. So I'm just gonna get a secondary color. And I think this time I'm gonna think so or no, I'm not gonna. I'm basically just gonna use the same method. I'm gonna go back to colors and do the same thing. I'm just gonna smack that right there, and yeah, then unlock all these, unlock each one, and there. No, no, is it? I do like this color though, but I'm not gonna use it. I already have it on the previous one. So next, whoo, I love this one. I love every single color here. But I just need one color. I need just one. Nah, move on. Yes, I can use this one. So I'm going to use this one. Honeydew. Honeydew is my secondary color. I've never used that before, so it's definitely going to be worthwhile talking about it now. So honeydew is my secondary color. Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have my primary color and my secondary color for Tokpay. Awesome. Now let's move forward. Creating the palette. And I think this is the main purpose for this class, creating the palette. How do you then create a color palette based off whatever colors you've gotten, right? How do you then choose a color palette? So this is very much interesting. This is one part of my design process that I love to do. I really love to create color palettes. And yeah, I'm happy to share how I do stuff around here. So basically, there are three ways to create a palette, or there are three methods I use to create my palettes. The first one is using the hue, saturation, and light options for your colors. And all I do in this case is I basically increase or reduce the light value to get different shades of a single color. The other one is to use the hue, saturation, and brightness, where you basically increase the brightness or reduce the brightness to get different shades of a color. The third is by using opacity. Now, opacity on the long run does not, well, it works, but you're simply reducing opacity of a color. It may not be authentic most of the time. It's not usually original, unlike when you use the HSL or HSB. And finally, is by just visiting material design. Of course, we all know what material design is. Material design is a design style guide created by Google for smartphone and website design. So let's get started. If I'm going to be using the HSL, I believe the same idea works for HSB. So I won't be repeating that. I will just be showing you how it's done, and then also I would, use the opacity to describe a few things. I'm not going to waste time there at all. But then I'll move to material design, so you all can see what that looks like. So yeah, HSL value. Let's go back to our Figma, and now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to get rid of this guy here. These colors are way too conflicting for me. I'm going to get rid of that, and I'm going to keep this one. So how do you then create your palettes? So now there is a lot of fancy stuff that goes into this. Trust me, the fancy doesn't choose to do this any way you want. For guys that love to use the Figma style, I don't know what's called, I've forgotten what it's called, where you basically just create styles of Figma directly. You don't need to you don't need to worry so much about the fancy of how your palette looks in design. But for the purpose of this class and for the sake of aesthetics, let's just do it. So I'm going to create this. I'm just draw a frame. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to label the frame to highlight different points. First being primary color. Yeah, I'm going to keep it bold. I'm going to keep it bold. Increase this to about 32 so it's obvious. Make sure I have all that. It's good for presentation. So just do it. Just do it. Enjoy the beauty. Just do it. Yep. Then, right, I want to make this as long as this. Let me do this instead. Save my apologies. I won't be talking too much about grids. This class is not for grids. I'm so sorry. So sorry. So sorry. Yeah. That's it. And yep. Make sure this is this. And that is that. And yeah, voila, we have this. Gonna keep the height to about 150, nothing too long. And I'm just gonna smash that purple right there. And yeah, that is our primary color, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, you really want to define the color code. It's important you define the color code, not just colors. Now, engineers need to see the color codes. So I'm going to bring this here, send it forward, make sure it is centered, and then turn this to white because of accessibility. We need to be able to see our color, and then copy the color code, come here, make sure this is center aligned, introduce your hash key, and do that. Yep. And that is that. You have that. Great. So next thing is I'm going to bring back my grids and I'm going to split this into 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Add my grids again. And yeah, so this is where I will be showing you what I do to create variants. So in the back of my mind, I know something for a fact. I know I want the last color right here. I want it to be as close to white as it can, but at the same time, I still want to be able to pinpoint that I'm looking at the color that originates from purple. So what I do in this case is I go to my color swatch. My HSB value. This time I'm using HSB since it's already in HSB. So basically HSL and HSB works similarly. The point is I want to reduce or increase the light value. So it's hue, saturation, and light. I want to tamper with this value here, the third value. Either it is HSB or it is HSL. So whichever one you're using is totally fine. It's basically the same way. You do it the same way. So I'm going to send this guy to 90 right there. So if you take a look at it, you can see it's already close to white, but I'm just going to leave it. There are no buts. I'm just going to leave it that way. You would test your colors, so you would be able to figure out if that is the right value or not when you start testing the color. Since I sent this to 90, I'm just going to start from here. This is currently at 43. So what I do, I love to increase the values in a successive rate, in a successive manner, meaning there is equal distance. So if this is currently 43, I'm assuming this is going to be 63, 83, 93. I'm off by 10. So 3, this is 43. So this should be, I'm just going to send it to 53, my ladies and gentlemen. 53, 63, 73, and this should be 93, right? Right there. Yep. This is still close to what we have originally. So I can say this should be 83 instead. Yeah, and of course I have to rearrange this. So I'm going to pick these and send it here. So yeah, that way we have what's it this again? 63, 73, 83, 93, and this is 43. So basically that is one thing I love to do, increase the value successively with the same distance between them. And yeah, that is it. Basically, that is it. I have that. different shades of purple, easy peasy. At the same time, you want to make sure you have your colors recorded for engineers. I'm going to use 16, make sure these are the center, duplicate this across, center, center, center. Right here, we need to do this. Yeah, it has to be, yeah. You know why, right? I'm pretty sure you all know why by now. So, yeah, I'm going to copy the colors. Since it has changed, I'm just going to copy the colors and fill that in. Fill that in. Fill that in. Fill that in as well. Awesome. Yeah, that's it. Right? That's it. Okay, so yeah, so let's continue. So the next up is secondary color. Our secondary color. So how then do we, what do we do in this case? What do we do in this case? I can pretty much see that our secondary color is already very, very close to white. Maybe not very, very close, but it's already approaching white. What can we do? Do we want to increase the light value? Do you want to reduce the light value? One way or the other, we have to do one. So let's go. So I'm going to use the same style. Increase this. Yeah, maybe not give. I'll not give it as much flex as I gave to this. So I'm just going to keep the height like this, so it looks secondary. You don't want to cause conflict between uh, primary and secondary. So let's do this. And maybe not 4 shades this time around. Maybe not 4 shades. You don't necessarily have to use 4 shades. You can't use all 4 colors. It's just way too much. Try as much as possible to minimize how much of that color you're using. So I'm pretty sure we ain't gonna be using all 4 colors. So let's just keep this to 3. Let's keep it on 3. Yep. So I'm going to reduce one and I'm going to increase the other. So I'm going to assume this is at the right. The secondary color itself is at the center. So yeah, come on, 75 is a lot. So I'll send it to 55 and I'll send it to 95. So you have 20/20 in between. And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's just it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Yeah. I have biases. This is way too close to white. Way too close to white. So let's reduce to 90. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that's affordable. And yeah, that's it. I have my primary color, I have my secondary color. Next up is black. So if you see black, it's safe to assume black is meant for text. Yeah, as I said, it's safe to assume. You don't necessarily have to assume, but it's safe to assume black is for text. So yeah, the same 3 shades. I'm just going to copy these, smash that into black. And yeah, so why do we need shades of black? So of course, when it comes to emphasis on text as well, there are high contrast text and low contrast text. Basically, you definitely do not need more than 3 levels of contrast when it comes to text. You have your main black, which you would use usually for your headers and subtitles, or your titles and subtitles. And then you would also have the lighter shade of the lighter shade black, which you will use for cases where you have subtext, right? Not necessarily body text, but subtext, something, something like for your footnotes and stuff like that. Okay, right? So yeah, so let's do that. So choose this, basically just go here. Of course, it's a 0. What are you expecting? Send it to 50. No, no. Okay. Oh, okay, okay. I saw what happened there. So I'm just going to drag this to here. I'm going to drag this to full black, and then I'm going to increase this to 50. Yes, yes. Apologies there. And then for the other one, I most likely want to do the same thing. I most likely want to do the same thing, but this time maybe not 50, maybe 25, and keep the distance at 25. So we have 0, 25, 50. Swap this. Yes. So there you have it. These two colors are green and red. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we know what that means, don't we? I'm sure we do. So when you have green, you have your success. When you have red, you have your what's it called? What's it called? Um, Success. I want to call it fail. It's not a failure color. It's not failure. Not failure. Yeah, error. Error counts. Caution counts. Warning. Sometimes it could be warning, but definitely not failure. All right, so we have our green, and I'm pretty sure as of right now, I don't want to bore you guys. You already know what I'm about to do. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing you thought I was going to do. So I'm going to read, this is currently at 31. Maybe I don't want to reduce this. I definitely do not want to reduce this anymore because anything less than is just going to be way too green. Should we do? Well, we could. But at 31, I think I want to keep my minimum to 31. I'm just going to increase this to 51. And I'm going to increase this to 91. Yeah, 91 is good. It's good. Let's agree with 91. Let's just agree with 91. And maybe at this point in time, we don't need 3 anymore. Maybe 2 is just perfect, right? 2 is just perfect. Why do we need 3 shades of success? Basically, you're going to be having the lighter shade on the dark shade or the dark shade on the lighter shade, just one of either. So yeah, next up is error. So thank you guys for suggesting error. So I'm going to use error. And yep, red. Very, very dark, bloody red. And easy peasy, basically just send this to 90. Now we had 98. No, we can't use 98. So I'm using 88. Simple. You already know why I'm using 88. Now, that said, I have every color I will be using for my UI here. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what a pillet is meant to look like. Now, the next thing you want to do if you're someone like me is to then save this on your style guide, basically, and it's pretty simple. I'm just going to show you how to do that. So what I do is this: I click on the color I want to save. I then let me see if I can zoom this even more so you all can see. I select this. I go to this icon over here. I click on this, and I had create style. This is the button you want to click. You want to click on this button to create style. So when I do this, it asks me, what do I want to name it? So what I do most of the time is I first start my naming convention using the product I'm designing for. So I'm designing for Talk Chat, right? Then I smash a slash into it. I'm designing, so I use primary. And what else? The color code. Yeah. Now, other times I use percentages, but in case like that, you may not find it very consistent because some colors have just 3, some have 5, some have 2. So that is that. So that there I have it. If I want to create another one, so I'm just going to copy this color code so it saves me the time of. Yeah, go there. No. Select this. Click on this guy. Click on the plus sign. And the moment you enter Talk Chat, it basically just suggests the rest for you. So I'm going to click on this and do this. create style. So yeah, that's it. So once you come here, you're able to, take a look at your style, color styles. It's a TalkChat application, the primary section, and then here you have your colors. So I'm just going to do one more for secondary color, and we're good. So I click on that, click on the plus button. No, not the plus button. Click on this icon, click on the plus button, enter again, TalkChat. This time it's secondary, and the color code. Look at me. I can't see the color code. So I'm just going to write, I'm going to write gibberish there. I'm sorry. Crystal. Good. My point is clear. Now you can see you have primary, you have your secondary, and voila. Here you go. That's your color palette for TalkChat. Now for TalkPay, I'm going to use another method. So I could basically use opacity. I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. So send this to full, and I'm going to use opacity. So the same way we did for HSB is the same, basically what you do for opacity as well. So this is currently at 100%. Now, this has its downsides, and I'm just going to explain as we move forward. It has its own downsides. So I select on this, and currently at 100%. So I want to send this to 80. I want to send this to 70. I want to send this to 50. I want to send this to 10%. Now, this is completely random, not because you are supposed to do it randomly. I just want to show you stuff. All right, so basically, this is what you get. Now, if I want to get, the color code remains the same, but then it's the opacity that changes. So how do I get the exact color code for this? So this is the downside. If I click on this, I click on, and I do this. Okay, yeah, now it's solid. Now it's solid. So yeah, I have this. This is my new color code. So that, now the downside I was going to mention is here. At this point in time, this guy is already at 100%, but we want to increase it to, we can't increase it beyond 100%. But the goal is to get something darker. What do we then do? At this point in time, opacity does not work anymore because you cannot make it go above 100%. So that is why I do not advise you using opacity. I do not expect you to use opacity. It is a way of getting different shades because, of course, I can reduce this by 50 and it gives something different. I can reduce it by 10. It changes the color. Yeah, it does. But it doesn't increase the darkness or the thickness, the intensity of the color itself. So you can, keep opacity for when you know you need it and do away with it when you don't. So what then is the next one? So basically, I'm going to use the material design. I'm going to use material design to choose my colors for TalkPay. So here we are. I'm going to drop this link as well. You can take a look at it whenever you want, or you can just find it in material.io/colors, I guess. Yeah. So I've never used this before. I do not know what to expect, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be dope. So reset. I'm going to reset all these. Yeah, I'm going to reset all that. So we have this. Now take a look at these guys. On this current scheme, you can see that we have primary, you can see we have secondary, and you can see we have text. So basically, material with these two they have provided is already breaking down each of the colors would need. There is a primary, but there's a primary color, there's a secondary. So what do we do now? I'm going to assume what we need to do is choose our primary color. So let's see. I will go back to my design, select the primary color, and this is this. Not these guys, not this. Let me paste that so it's pretty clear. Yeah, that's the color code. I'll go back to the tool and I'll enter the color code right there. Sweet. Now, on doing that, you can all see in real time, material design is suggesting the most ideal colors we should consider. Well, it is good to believe material design, because of course material design was written by Google, and of course we all know who Google is. So the math is right, the math is correct. Now, as I said previously, for other tools, you are not bound by any law to use these colors. If you want to use it, good. If you do not want to, you're free to make that choice. But if you want to create a color scheme that is fast enough, you don't want to spend time, doing what we did earlier. You just want to smash in your color and get the values out. This is a great tool to use. So right there we have our primary color, and then we have two suggestions for alternatives. So I'm going to go back to the design. Instead of 4, I'm just going to keep 2. I'm going to keep 2. Take this out. Sorry, bro. Take this out and then stretch these guys. Stretch it, stretch it. Then back to material design, copy this, copy that, go back to my design, paste that there. Really, set it back to 100%. It's currently at 80. So please, yeah, that's 100%. I'm deleting you. Sorry. Then for the dark, copy that as well. Go to your design, set this back to 100, and smash in the color. Is that no? Am I entering the right color? 0044CB. 0044CB is the color. Yes, and there we have it. There we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Easy peasy, very quick. No need to bother. Just smash in your colors and get what you need. Now, for our secondary color, I'm going to copy this guy and back to material design. Click secondary, paste that there. Trust me, I don't need to do any right now. I am seeing what I need to see, and I'm very happy with it. So I have my secondary color. Trust me, I didn't even expect the color to look that good. So I'm impressed. Yep. And for the other, I will go here, select that. So material design, look at the beauty here. So material design is suggesting we use full white for the light version of our secondary color. It is suggesting FFF, which is 100% white. And I'm happy with it. I'm good with it. I feel like it's something I want to take. So good. Yeah, material design is saying I should use that. I'm down for it. But yeah, something is wrong. We can't see. We can't. So of course, you know what to do. You put a stroke on it, and use the primary color as the stroke. And there you go. There you go. But it's still white, right? You know it's still white, right? I'm sure you know. Yeah, then I select the dark, and back here, paste that in. Voila. Look at that. Beautiful secondary color. I love it. Now, it doesn't end there. The beautiful part is material design is suggesting this is an actual UI. So now the truth is, after you're done selecting your color palette, you want to test your colors on different UI elements. You want to test it on buttons, you want to test it on cards, you want to test it on your hero section to make sure it works. But with this tool, right on the spot, you can know if your choice of color is good or bad. And ladies and gentlemen, from what you can see, what can you see about my choice of color? Good or bad? I'm sure you know it's bad. I'm sure you know it's bad. I'm sure you know it's bad, right? You know it's bad. You know why it's bad? Because look at my button, the button on whatever this is called. It's difficult to see the edge of the button. Now that's some big accessibility issue. So right there on the spot, I know my secondary color is not ideal. And then I am meant to switch it. But yeah, let's just continue. Let's assume that works. Yeah, so there are also other instances of UIs. There are also other instances of UIs which you can use to test and compare. So you see, like right on the spot, your UI is there to test. So it's beautiful. Yeah, so that said, that is the third choice, material design. And good for us, as of right now, we are at the end of that. So we've been able to create a color palette. And basically, the next thing to do is using our color palette, which of course is what we're going to be covering for the next class. But as of right now, we've come to the end of this session. I am happy to take questions right now. Yep, let's go. Any questions? I'm happy to take questions. And you can, of course, the comment section is open. You can, let me know what you think. Let me know what your preferences are. Would you be going for the HSL or HSB style, or you'll be using material design? Let me know what preferences you prefer, which one you prefer. And if you have any questions, shoot in your questions on the Q&A section. I'm happy to take that. So I'll be opening that slot for the next 2 minutes. We have already exhausted our time, but I'm opening that up for the next 2 minutes. Let's see what questions we're going to be getting today. And if there is none, I'm happy to see what you guys will be doing over the next, few hours. As I said, go back to those old design of yours. Confirm if you have been using the right choice of colors. Make the adjustment as according to what we've discussed for this class. Tag me on your designs. I'm happy to see what you've done. I'm happy to see the old and the new. So it could be, your own version of when it started, where it is going. I would love to see those, design updates. Awesome, 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 awesome. Great, 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 great. I'm happy to hear this. Yep, that's the thing. Material design is the easy way out, but it's nothing is as authentic as using the HSL, HSB. The material design is simple, quick, gives you the pellets right there on the spot. But if you want the best set of colors, you most likely would have to settle for the HSL or HSB style. To tag me, I'm on Twitter. Well, I would respond quickly on Twitter. My handle is right there under the at the base of my slide. Ozenwa underscore rune. Ozenwa underscore rune. That's my Twitter handle at Ozenwa underscore rune. On LinkedIn, it's simply Ozenwa Oluwatobi. Yep. Okay. Okay. That's it. I'm pretty sure we all understood the topic. Okay, yeah, finally a question. All right. When is the next class? This is your first one. Okay, so the next class is on Friday. It's actually a 3-day course. It started on Monday. Today is Wednesday. The next one will be on Friday. So yeah, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Happy to have this session again on Friday. Thank you very much for joining in. I'm sure you enjoyed it. I'm sure you've learned new things. I'm happy to see what you come up with over the course of the week. See you on Friday. Thank you, everyone. Cheers and good night.